coming up this afternoon, government statistician Professor Samuel Kobena-Enim advocates diversification of Ghana's gold exports to reduce exposure to vulnerability that may arise in receiving countries as a result of political shocks. And Ghana Revenue Authority, in collaboration with the police, arrest managers of some hotels in Accra for issuing non-VAT invoices. And also in the bulletin, government hopeful impending harvest season and some emergency measures will prevent food shortage despite current global challenges. We'll hear from a Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture. I am Beverly Broom. Let's settle for details now. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobena-Enim has revealed that 90% of Ghana's gold export will go to only 3 countries. A breakdown of the data indicates that 48.1% export of the product goes to Switzerland, while 24.8% and 21.4% go to South Africa and India, respectively. This Professor Enim warns exposes the country to high trade vulnerability should there be any political shocks in those countries. He made this remark earlier at the launch of the maiden edition of the Ghana Statistical Services Trade Vulnerability Report based on the year 2022 here in Accra.
So if you take gold, which is our dominant export commodity, and this is where again the vulnerability comes in, we have almost 50%, specifically 48.1% of that going to Switzerland. And if you put the first, second, third together, 90% of our gold is going to only 3 countries. Specifically 48.1% to Switzerland, South Africa taking 24.8%, and India 21.4%. So with the single commodity that we are dealing with, which poses some risk to us from a commodity point of view, that commodity is received only by 3 countries. So in the event of whatever is happening in Niger or whatever happened in Russia, Ukraine, happens to any of these 3 countries, then it means it opens us up to some risk.
Well, Professor Enim in his presentation also disclosed that Ghana's total import for 2022 resulted in a trade deficit of 4.5 billion cedis.
We had imports to the tune of about 148.6 billion Ghana cedis as against exports of 144.1 billion Ghana cedis, indicating that in 2022 there was a trade deficit of 4.5 billion Ghana cedis. So that is the situation from the 2022 statistics.
Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobena-Enim there. Managers of some 4 hotels in parts of Dansoman and North Kaneshie in Accra were arrested by the police and Ghana Revenue Authority for some infraction on value-added tax payment. The facilities, namely Legacy Hotel, Kigali Hotel, Mascot Hotel, and a wholesale supermarket, Silver Clouds, were issuing non-VAT invoice when officials of the GRA embarked on the test purchase exercise. The managers were arrested and are expected to appear in court to face the law. Here is Accra Regional Head of Enforcement at the GRA, Joseph Annan.
So today we went to Legacy Hotel at North Kaneshie. The infraction is non-issuance of the VAT invoice. They are registered all right, but then they are not issuing the invoice. So we have picked one of the employees up, and we also took some records because we need to examine and establish an assessment, which we call the preemptive assessment. And what it means is that the payment must be done immediately, and that assessment is linked to the infraction.
Moving on, US-based Associate Professor of Finance Williams Pepra has attributed the high inflation in many developing countries such as Ghana to the strong US dollar. According to him, this has triggered spikes in food and imported inflation. He therefore wants African countries to trade among themselves in an acceptable currency instead of the over-reliance of the American greenback for transactions. At a webinar on the topic Dollar Dominance by the School of Postgraduate Studies of Andrews University, Professor Pepra said Ghana and other countries must find a way to reduce the dollar dominance of trade in their respective economies.
Within last year alone, inflation got to about 57% by December, and it's now around 43%. The major component of the inflation is a result of exchange rates devaluation of the cedi. So such a situation is what is really affecting entrepreneurs. Also, if an entrepreneur wants to go and look for facilities or loan to be able to engage in international trade, it becomes a challenge. The question they will ask is, you are going to sell your product in your local currency. How are you going to price your product in the
Now, government is banking its hope on the impending harvest season and some emergency measures to prevent food shortage in the country. There are fears that Ghana could be hit with food crisis in the coming months. This is due to record increase in price of rice on the global market, as well as serious supply issues. Others are also worried about how development in Niger and Burkina Faso could worsen the country's food situation. But Deputy Minister of Agri, Yao Frimpong Ado, says there's no cause for alarm.
We will have some shocks, but our duty is to reduce it to the barest minimum so that our people will not feel it too much. In our PFJ2 that will be launched, we have put in place some measures that will increase production of, let's say, of rice, and we are serious about that.
Honorable, what are you also doing to deal with others who might be moving in from the Sahel to offer very good price to the farmers, and they may end up selling their produce to them as well?
No, there are two things. One, we should be ready to mop up excess production this year.
Yao Frimpong Ado is the Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture. Meanwhile, rice millers in Ghana say lack of funds to support millers is the main challenge hampering the processing of the commodity. Speaking to Joy Business, the chairman of the Competitive Africa Rice Platform Ghana branch, Mr. Yao Dupoku, said government must begin to make special arrangements for funds for rice millers to avert food security crisis.
If our yield is good enough, then prices will be affordable. But our yield is the poorest confined within the rice growing wealth. We are not getting enough from the soil because of our agro practices and the resources we need to put into it. And because of that, we are not getting what we should be getting. And
away from agriculture, Republic Bank Ghana PLC is projecting an increase in its total assets by the close of the year. The bank says it is expecting to cross a 7 billion cedis mark in December. Managing Director Benjamin Jobuku explained that the bank is working to increase the assets base through the expansion of its mortgage portfolio and explore other avenues to cushion the operations of the bank.
We'll continue to look at our mortgage business as well. And then 3, we'll look at our business that we have for the corporate, as I said earlier on, the energy, the agri-business, the education, and then the SME will focus on that. And then we'll also focus on generating more liabilities to enable us grow. At the end of the year, I think we should be hitting a total asset of about 7 billion.
Now, the Executive Director of Springboard Roadshow Foundation, Comfort Okran, is calling for more support for young people to develop new skills and gain valuable insights in industry. According to her, this is necessary to aid in bridging the gap between academia and industry. She spoke to Joy Business at the opening ceremony of the 2023 Teenpreneurship and Mentoring Career Guidance and Personal Development Bootcamp for teenagers.
What I realized about teenpreneurs, people who come through the teen program, is that when they go through the program, they discover that the world is what they create. The world is what they choose to do. The world is what they decide to do. So based on that, they are bold. They go out and make sure that what they would like to do, they do that. And that makes people who are very confident, people who would like to contribute to society.
Comfort Okran is the Executive Director of Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Now, stakeholders within the aviation space are calling for increased investment within the industry to expand the capacity of the sector. According to a fellow at the American Society of Civil Engineers Committee on Airfield Pavement, Engineer Leslie Alex Aye, there should be a broader consultation to sanitize the operations of air transportation in Ghana.
Ghana has a good record in aviation. What we need to do right now is to maintain our reputation and build on it. And we have a very good record in aviation circles. And I think this is an opportunity to let it be better than it is right now.
Now, for your pension tip on Money Lab, let's now hear from Kofi Poli, Chief Operations Officer of People's Pensions Trust, as he shared light on the safety of pensions.
Hello, welcome to Money Lab. My name is Kofi Poli, People's Pension Trust. We continue our pension tidbits on Money Lab. In our last episode, we looked at Provident Fund Scheme. Today, we are going to try to answer one of the key questions that has come up, especially of late, and that is the safety of pension funds. The good thing about the architecture, pension architecture in Ghana is that pension funds are very, very safe. And this is how it works. Under the law, the corporate trustee must have a custodian. The custodian is basically a bank which has been licensed by the NPRA to be a custodian. So all the funds that are being paid by the members go straight into the custodian bank. The corporate trustee must also have a fund manager which will advise the corporate trustee how to invest these funds. So basically what the corporate trustee does is to manage the database. With this architecture and with a strict investment guidelines, pension funds are very, very safe. Thank you very much for being with us. Hope to see you again in our next episode.
And that's the end of the Joy Business Report. Do follow us on all our social media pages, including LinkedIn. A message from EcoBank. Now, the EcoBank salary account is a special account designed for workers of all income brackets desirous of receiving their salaries through EcoBank. With the EcoBank salary account, you are guaranteed all the benefits of a normal savings or current account, plus many more. EcoBank salary account gives workers free life insurance cover of up to 10,000 Ghana cedi, 24/7 access to cash and e-banking services, internet and mobile banking services, high interest on savings, no minimum balance, ability to save through the EcoBank Save As You Spend, a unique feature that helps customers to save and invest. Remember, the insurance policy covers death, permanent or temporary disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and more. Savings or current account holders at EcoBank do not have to close their existing accounts to enjoy the numerous benefits of the EcoBank salary account. Just ask your branch to switch your existing account to the EcoBank salary account. Non-EcoBank account holders should approach any EcoBank branch and ask for the EcoBank salary account. Switch your salary account today and enjoy amazing benefits at EcoBank. Call toll free on 0800 003225 whenever, wherever for further details. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. I am Beverly Broom. Ignition is next with Sammy Forson. Do enjoy.
Cargo handling can be so tiring. Having to shuffle between banks to make payments. And waiting hours for payment confirmation. And worst of all, incurring avoidable costs due to payment delays. Chalet. But with EcoBank, making cargo payments has become super convenient through their digital self-service and in-branch channels. Sail smoothly with EcoBank and experience our one-stop payment solutions for all your cargo-related payments. Pay your customs duties and all levies, terminal handling and shipping line fees, and enjoy smart financing solutions to support your cargo handling operations. Contact us on 0800 003 225 or walk into the nearest EcoBank branch to find out more. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Good afternoon. May I please have your attention for the afternoon's batch of funeral announcements? Togbi Asemtra, Paramount Chief of Have Traditional Area. Mamaga Chirwa IV, Paramount Queen Mother of Have Traditional Area. Togbi Mankata, Awafia of Have Traditional Area and Chief Have Etoy. Togbi Afedo Foley the 9th, Chief of Have Ablode. Togbi Mode Day, Chief of Have Togbe V. Afeto Odumankuma